Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. I went to the zoo, and as it is easier to observe others, I could see how much whatever lives is busy all the time with objects. We do the same. We do exactly the same with maybe degrees of abstractions, but still objects. So, to have that search to know oneself, to know what didn't satisfy the knowledge of oneself before, you have to step out of evolution. One has not to again belong to something, to a lineage. And I call that the self, what's real, what's always there, regardless of the busyness of a personal being. That awareness which is always there for all. That awareness which is there so also when I sleep, which makes me say after I had a very good sleep, that uncatchable something, that's who you really are. That is unborn. That is ever here. So, for the one who searches still someone in time, it is not by transforming his interest. It is, but it is not by transforming experiences for better ones, for lighter ones, for vaster ones, that will bring him the realization, the step of evolution. I agree to say that they are graceful experiences which will give more fire to realize oneself. They are like kisses of the self. And some prefer kisses than to be the self. Like Ramakrishna said, no? I prefer to taste the sugar than to be the sugar. But for those who want to be the sugar, to be themselves, they will not be satisfied to have only a few glimpses. So for those, the person has to understand first, to be clear through discrimination that the reality, the concept, I am born, I am somebody, has to disappear. And to disappear from where it appeared. And all this appearance is possible because there is a background, what's real, which is always there, and that's expressing itself produces this world of appearances of rising and falling. So one has to wake up to that. Means he will understand that more he grasps experiences, objects, goals towards in time, all that which is offered to the mind, to the senses and to the feelings, that will never help him. So he declares, I declare its defeat. I'm hopeless, absolutely helpless. I don't know what to do. And there, somehow, it always happens when this fire comes to this, a striking voice, a striking meeting telling, listen, how lucky you are. It's a grace in disguise. Because now you can really appreciate to bow down, means to surrender, means to go where I arose. And the question where my helps for that. And quite a few striking words which removes the root of I help also for that. And those generally are heard in satsang and in the great, not literature, because they are sacred sayings, because of their uniqueness. The sayings of the sage are not bringing any object and remove concepts and bondage. That's the whole story of humanity. In short, of course. So, welcome to that direction, which I told you already has one quality. It has to be unique in one's life, or the priority, if you prefer, and it has got fire. The guts to say no to the beliefs of the world. So did you leave anything important for you from yesterday? Or something came up in you from yesterday? Please tell me. Yeah. Maybe we need a mic.
What I see from yesterday and today morning, the mind is out of my control. I mean, it's running, I don't know how, but
Yes. Right?
his own way. And included this, what I feel I don't have enough fire, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough. So it's starting to totally hopeless and this kind of helpless.
You have not enough fire for what?
First, what I try to do, starting to changing the mind. I don't know, controlling.
Did I say that?
No, I just tell you. And after
You are a bad boy.
and after,
After hearing what I
yeah,
said.
no. I just tell you the story. I'm sorry. After I see
No,
I don't have enough.
You have not enough fire. Okay, but for what? For the world or for this?
For this also, because I need to be stronger to not go in there, doing anything about what's rising up.
And then
So-
what you will do if you have no fire for the world and no fire for this? Where you will place yourself? In a hammock in between, I don't know. You think so?
Yes. So what I see now, it's all in the mind. It's
Yeah,
the
that's
mind.
what I say.
Mind,
You
mind,
think
mind,
so.
mind.
And you will obey your mind,
Yes.
and then you will become even not enough fire. You will say, I'm very weak.
Yeah.
You think so. And how come you come to each satsang and this and that? What's this then? Nobody obliges you. There is no bondage here.
Yeah.
So what made you come? Something.
Yeah.
I call this fire. Something. You could go anywhere. Anywhere else. It's sunny. It's a beautiful town. It's new to you. Then what?
Yeah, of course.
So why you are here? Because you paid the ticket to come here? You can still change if you like. You can just go and enjoy.
Yeah.
No, I just want to show you that your mind may boycott you by
this-
suggesting those things.
Yeah.
Maybe not true. Otherwise, I don't understand what you are doing here. So don't listen to the mind and just try to hear what I tell you. I agree, we can continue the dialogue. I agree that the mind is uncontrollable. Yes, so which direction you would take if you have enough with that? I give a direction. Even if it is mental, you see, it is another direction that all the flow of the world. The flow of the world goes, I do something, or I don't do something. Everything goes in a gesture this way. In time. And that's why there is a tomorrow. Or yesterday. But if you take the direction of once in a while, a split second, even if it is not every day, I get very compassionate now, but still, still do it. But you have to be consistent with your... Now you see how essential it is, what you dedicated your life to this, even though you may go here and there with your thoughts. So I remind you that it's a very, very lucky incarnation, that fire may not visit you every time. We never know. So take benefit and try. And at the same time here, what you search so much, actually you are it. Now you are it, regardless of the state of your heart, your mind, and your senses. That's what I say, to jump out. It's like, which is also an image, I agree. But I have to speak also. Or stay where you always are. It's even better to speak like this, and don't step a foot for a moment into movements, into the life. And that will work, that's giving fire, that's calling the seeker more and more to remind him, don't forget, don't lose yourself. It's no use to suffer for nothing. Here you are. It's a small loop in comparing with loops of life. So, you are here. If you make a step in the mind, you are crushed by tiger's mouth. Samsara, the dream, the movie. Consistency in this continuity, perseverance, I don't know, it's all meaning the same. In this direction, it helps. It helps tremendously. That's why I say, make your life a satsang. Otherwise, satsang will be a cup of tea in your life. It's already a great thing, but it will not be enough.
Yeah, this is what I see. I mean,
you are having a good cup of tea. It's okay. It's already
not
great.
just like this, but I find this kind of difficulty to in the life.
It's difficult because we give so much power to the convictions of the world.
Yes.
In our own mind. We are sheep. we just do like everybody does and think. The wise, no, they are alone. That's why they are called lions. They are alone because they are alone with what they say. And only a lion in the sheep means the search for freedom will be attracted to follow the lion. Otherwise, of course, it's unheard. Because it speaks of something completely else. It doesn't speak of the world, because the world is great as it is, even though as it is dual, it's not always beautiful too. But it doesn't speak of the world. It doesn't speak of all what belongs to the body, the feelings, and the conceptualization, thinking. It speaks of the real seer. Just to give you this background so that you don't stop at the identification to be a person, because then you are like the wind, one day good, one day bad. And there is no much meaning in life. You can give meanings, sure, but there is a kind of search where you are never satisfied with this kind of answers. Let it be God, let it be any ideal, anything, you see, even experience. For those, they're right. There is still something else, means they created by through beliefs or through believing in experiences a separation, a fake separation, but one believes it's a separation between what they really are and the dream, the appearances. So one has to blow up this balloon to see there was never a balloon as reality. And so just wake up to that, or have this bone, some bones, one bone. Who am I? That will go through all the landing places we are used to stop, where we are used to land. It will make them disappear, because you here don't land anywhere as the mind does all the time. With who am I, it is exactly that you go through all those airports without stopping, and just to realizing that you never left that place. It was an absolutely illusory flight. Yes, please.
Can it? Yeah, it works. Satsang, you gave us some advice.
Yeah, you speak a little bit louder,
Yes.
please.
In your opening satsang,
Yeah.
you gave us some advice.
Uh-huh.
Don't be satisfied with glimpses of the self.
Mm. Unless you are, but if you are not satisfied.
No. So you know the true self. So
Yeah.
I don't have a question. I just want to take your advice.
Hmm?
I don't have a question.
Yes.
I just want to take your advice.
Yeah, sure. So you see, and it's good for any experience, but the glimpses are very a blessing and also very tricky, because it has a flavor of the self. A flavor, like a rose can be away, but you have the perfume already way away from the rose. So you can describe somehow what it is. And you have the feeling of it. So perfume, feeling. You cannot say that the perfume is the rose. It may belong to the rose, of course. So, just to say that there is always someone with a glimpse of the self. Because I would say even, not the split second where absolutely nobody and nothing is there. But coming out of the glimpse, he says, even he can say, I am the self. I know what it is now. What is this I who speaks and who closes the chapter to go back to the known? That's what I say. When you are so much not there, it's that. I am that. Don't jump. Be vigilant. Don't jump on the next rising. And even, because it's so uncontrollable, even if there is one rising, but don't go there. Even if it speaks beautifully of that, it's already fake. You push away yourself so much away that you speak only now about the perfume, not about the rose. Am I clear? So just be very vigilant now, in a natural way. This much I cannot explain. And that's it. But if you hear this, you will follow this. Because you see, it is so precious. And you know very well that glimpses doesn't happen every day. It's like that. And you know it's very precious. And next time you don't want to miss it. And this is the way. Don't allow your mind, you trust it so fully to fool you. So don't have any curiosity or interest in this rising mind. Because I tell you already, it will not speak the truth. And that's why I'm not accepting silence, bliss, unconditional love, and all those qualities we give, which are like golden carrots, very good. They are true, but they are experiences. The perfume. If you go very far, you will speak of lust or whatever. If you go very near, you will speak of unconditional love. It's the perfume, it's not the rose. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Would hello, yeah. Would you say that when people speak about the perfume,
Yeah.
then it sometimes may sound like that they speak about the real thing?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Because even maybe those more rare beings that speak about the real thing, they may use the same words, but I
agree.
But they speak about different things.
I agree, and that's why, you see, that's why. No, when those experiences, which are such a blessing also, happen, are expressed, I don't say also to reject them. You see, it just happens. What a blessing. But if you are wise, you know, oh, how beautiful the self is, but I'm the self. And that's an expression, and it will go away. There are liars, those who say that those expressions don't go away. But there are a few liars in the world anyway, so, like that. And I think, you see, I say that because one suffers to mistake. And to mistake, I understand if you don't have a master. You have to mistake. It looks so much like that. On top of it, you become so inspired, you speak beautifully. For a while, I tell you, only. So you need a master. Yeah. Yeah.
So I need to trust only the split second. What I
Yes. Yes.
So working, I think. So there's the split second.
You know that? You know that?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then there's a rising.
Yeah.
You say the I rises and an object rises.
It looks like, if this body, and mind is still alive in this appearance, yes, there will be rising.
And so that's perfectly natural. I mean, the happening.
Yeah, sure.
Awareness stays all the time.
You speak a little louder.
Awareness
Yeah.
stays all the time. So you just.
Awareness is what you are. Huh?
Is, right,
Yeah.
it's
Not
yeah.
something.
Yeah. You just let it go, object, and I just don't touch it. It's a natural thing, you just don't.
Yeah, but naturally you will play in this world, you have some role anyway.
Yeah.
That will continue. You just act and react in your own circumstances, which may change or may not at all change, you know. That is not into control. Yeah. But once you have seen, you see, doesn't matter.
Yes. That's.
It matters for the person who would like to be enlightened. It doesn't matter if you don't place your enlightenment in somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's this I that rises and wants to claim.
What?
That's this I that rises and wants to claim.
I don't still understand.
This
I'm
I that rises and wants to claim,
to claim.
to own the
Well,
experience.
in the beginning, he will do that, you see. I am free, I'm a hero. Okay, doesn't matter, let him claim and I understand, but this is not it. It's a rising, it's an expression. That is the precious thing to hear. Never, whatever shape it has as a rising, don't think it's real. You are that from where this could rise and where it falls. That's all. That's all which has to be seen. But it changes everything, because before you have this base, I am somebody or born or whatever, this base, and then you see things, glimpse or no glimpse, but all from there. And after that base is gone, because it is as well as an experience like everything else, so we cannot speak of base there, but still you are not based, let's say like that. The base has been shaken, questioned. That is the extraordinary for the mind, the extraordinary discovery of Advaita. To speak like that, to tell things this way.
It's like falling again and again in this trap.
But why you still think so? It looks like, I would agree with you, it looks like I fall again and again in traps. It looks like. And if you say it looks like, which effect it gives you? Just the moment you say it.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. And you see, in this appearance, always the person may have some space of tranquility, but otherwise it is always falling into something, identifying with something. But do you think that the one who saw, it's not well said to say who saw, let's say who realized what's real, his own nature, his real nature, do you think it's, it has no meaning, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is in what appears. Then who cares about that person, identified, not identified? It's not the point. The point is not to confuse who you are for the person. It's not that the person has to become always disidentified and a witness. Never, nobody, no wise spoke like this. No, it's a wrong concept, a wrong teaching. You just don't confuse yourself. You realize your real nature, which is the same for all. That's why they speak of one. I don't like to say so. But okay, it's not wrong. But it's not a happy idea. At least it's not two. That is true. Yeah. As long as one feels there is a trap, very good. Already there is a kind of vigilance there. So at that time, go back from where you could see. Doesn't matter how many times. Who cares? Go back. One day this in-out will disappear. But this is the perfect direction. Don't doubt about it. Definitely.
I want to say things, and I'm conscious that it's again I go in the mind to say these things.
These thanks, the thanks. You go in the mind to say what?
To say I'm here to. I want to demystify and expose all the rest, what's left.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Nobody stops you.
So should I tell all my stories? No.
You can tell the tale of it.
You said something yesterday, or yes, it was yesterday. Someone was saying, I'm so much in peace and love, and then you said, be careful, it could turn the other way around.
Yeah.
Because this person feeling peace and love, that's beautiful, but it's still this identification with a person,
Yeah,
and it can turn.
you
the other
understood
way.
well. Yeah. Yeah. Then.
And my mind is asking if one discovered the true nature, then it's always there. So there's you can be the person and just be.
Yeah.
And it's no problem anymore.
Yeah. I think I exactly said that too.
Yes.
This
That's
one.
why I took.
Yeah, sure. Yes. I'm happy for you. So what you had to demystify, tell me.
No. Look, every person is an expression of the self, and every person has different. I love to go into. I read Ramana and I read Nisargadatta, and I love to bath in this love and in this. It's really a space, and I know it's not landing there, even there.
Okay, great.
This.
You know that.
And still, I love it. I love nature.
But I never say to reject. I say, what a blessing. But don't take any expression for who you are. That's all I said. So you mean that? So we have a double
because
vote.
there is a mind coming up which says, no, you should not be so... because this person experiences as well extreme sadness or what, and it's okay, and also extreme blessing in this life. So and I discovered that I don't have to care about that anymore. So it's okay.
It's
whatever arises.
It's better than okay. It is included in what you are.
Yes.
It appears, it disappears in what you are, or on what you are. I'm happy to hear. So there is no demystification to have anymore.
Maybe it's this kind of mind activity which thinks that it has to demystify more and be careful, be vigilant.
And are you going there?
No.
Then it's okay.
And when I'm not going there, maybe this is looking for approval. Am I not
this I will not
tricking
do.
myself?
I'm just happy for you. I don't say more. I'm just very happy for you. What else can I say?
Maybe I would like that you hit me with a stick and say,
I will
"Be
not do. I have
careful."
no stick. So.
No, but if I would be blind or somewhere still, then I would love my master to tell me.
That's what I'm doing. But what you say, what can I say to you? It's beautiful. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
When I see something, I don't think I ever didn't touch it. No, I know also that all what is expressed in satsang can be learned. I know that too. And so if one delivers through knowledge, means memory, and then it's not from the same words, it's not from the same place than the one who speaks without thinking. Yeah. But good, if you want me to tell you something else, good direction. Good direction. Bathe there, again, again, again. Yes. So that you don't have this little want of recognition, because it means what it means. Huh? You agree? Okay. Yes, yes.
Back to the split second.
Please, what?
About the split second.
Yeah.
Ahogy az előbb beszéltél, így akkor értettem, hogy nekem ezzel kapcsolatban milyen hatalmas elvárásaim voltak, meg elképzeléseim.
When you spoke about that, just now I understand how big expectations I had about this split second.
Megtapasztalom majd.
What will happen when I will experience it?
Ez is mindegy hatalmas elmögöli hazugság volt, ugye?
But it also was just a faking of my mind.
Yeah.
Ez teljesen nem is lehet megtapasztalni, a másodperctől részétől értem.
Maybe it's absolutely impossible to experience a split second.
Ah, interesting. Right. Because that split second means there is nobody there to experience it. That's why it's called split second.
De akkor ez nem fog kinyilvánulni soha egy hosszú folyamattá, vagy végtelen folyamattá.
So it never will be experience itself like a long or timeless experience.
Moment.
Never.
It is not in time.
Én mindig abban voltam, hogy nálad ez végtelenül abszolút, hogy így létezel ebben.
I always thought and saw you like somebody who is being or floating in this timeless.
I'm floating in time, but I am not the time.
ezt, hogy nekem fordulni, de vissza kell mennem.
So then it's also not true that I always have to return, go back into my... So
You are right. It is a logical way for the one who thought real that he lost his way. But it's not true. You are always yourself. But one always speaks of those movements in time. I go back, I go there, I go back, I go there. I go beyond, I go prior. So, with this language, you see, one needs, I remember that, I'm sorry, no, it will not happen now. I was always with Papaji, but physically I was not with Papaji, and I was reading at the time a lot of Nisargadatta Maharaj, which is a symbol of fire, I must say. And just the title of the book, Prior to Consciousness. Since just not long ago I was again fully in this cosmic consciousness as an experience, but it was looking, I cannot, reading prior, I didn't know what to do, because as an I, whatever experience you have, it looks like, but how to go prior? It's like an impossibility. But the why say prior to consciousness, and I tell you, it made a big impact in me, because I understood whatever I experience, it's not it, it's always after this prior he speaks about. And he says prior because only there is what you really are comparing with other things. So there is a way to say which can remove the so-called root of the illusion, the illusory reality, which is the appearance, where one lives. It stopped me only also for a while, so it became also an experience. But I saw a direction I could never guess before. Yeah. So all those words uttered are a way to teach. And any teaching, even this one, disappears when the real thing is a fact. But great, if you are aware more and more that whatever you utter, whatever you taught, it's still in the realm of this appearance, you get a very good discrimination. You get very clear. I'm happy, you never spoke like this in the past. I'm really getting very happy on you. Continue.
when Nisargadatta uses that expression prior to consciousness, would it be correct, just for my understanding, I try to phrase it in a little different way, prior to any sense of subject?
Yeah, absolutely. But you see, there is such a trap in the realm of spirituality that I know it, I speak of myself. When I was in this experience that I thought was the minimalist possible, means I equal consciousness, somehow you don't believe it's an experience. You think this is it. It's so tricky.
Mm-hmm.
But what you say is right.
Ganga, I just realized that
Yeah.
since I'm here,
Yeah.
I was looking for a landing place.
A landing place?
Yeah.
I told you, never land anywhere. But good, you see, it's never lit. And so what happens now?
Now I don't want to make out of this a
Great.
landing place. How not to?
You are not going to have a landing place. Yeah?
I don't want.
You don't want?
No.
Yeah, right? So don't. And when one appears, don't be afraid and don't a conclusion, oh, I lost myself. Just you see that and let it go. Nothing happened. Great. Everybody is that. So, what makes the difference? One listens to his mind, the other not. So, I guess urgently you will not listen to your mind. But it's true. It may take some time to see what is the mind. For 90% of the mind, it's obvious what is the mind. But there is a region where the mind gets more smart to hide into something else. But don't worry, if there is a I, it's mine. Because even if I say I am nobody, it's I who says so. Be vigilant. But you never, never lose yourself. You can lose shapes, you can lose names, You can lose experiences, feelings, they go on changing, concepts, ideas, all that can be subject of changes. Yeah.
There's the saying, well, if I don't know if I say it correctly, but the world is unreal.
Yeah.
Brahman is real.
Yeah.
And Brahman is the world.
Yeah.
And we're talking about this all the time. But
Yeah.
Especially the last one,
Yeah.
Brahman is the world. Could you say more about it? Is it the expression of who you really are in the world?
No. It's I don't say that because I prefer not to give a concept, because if you hear with the mind, okay, you may accept the first, the second, the third becomes a bit strange, because then what? Paradox or whatever. So when you realize, you see that there are no two realities. It's not like illusory reality which is real somewhere. It is the expression of your own self. Everything is the self. That's what it meant by the third. Brahman is the world. Or the world is Brahman, I don't know. Whatever, but it means the same. So there is no two. And that's why there is a but not as a person, but there is a carelessness that to transform the expression, the personal life of someone, because everything is Brahman, is the self. But you see, it's a much more difficult way, which is not even taught, to teach from the beginning, everything is yourself. It will not help. It will be very confusing, more difficult. That's why there is this negative way. Not this, not that. Whatever you sense, not this, not that. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, whatever appears, not this, not that. Then you realize yourself, and then you see the truth of it. Oh, there is not such a thing as unreal or illusion. But it comes from somewhere else than if you say that from the beginning, from someone. If it is from... What is a someone? Someone is a particularized, limited something. So in that way, it's not the self. It's like Buddha, he had a disciple, and Buddha said, oh, everything is, what was his word? Maybe sunyata. Everything is that, let's say. Doesn't matter. Everything is that. And a dog passed by, and the disciple said, everything is Buddha, he said. Oh, so the dog is Buddha too? No. He had to chew that and to try to go through that for quite a while, you see? Because then what? And it's right. It's not a particular shape or form which is the Buddha. The real nature of things, yes. Like Master Papaji. Papaji, he has a particular shape, a particular form. Papaji died. The Master never dies. It's like that. It is like that. That's what I reply when there was no more thing there.
Can you speak to this concept that the person has to die or the ego has to die? From hearing you speak, I see that these concepts...
You know, I never use the word ego, but I'm all right with it. Ego means the one who identifies himself with whatever, with shapes and names and experiences, yeah? So what was the question?
Just if you can speak a bit more about, I mean, I hear so many teachers say that the person has to die or the person has to disappear or dissolve. But can you speak a bit more?
Yeah, sure. It is not a person, it's a concept one has got of himself.
So the person...
That's why it's very important to hear this, because otherwise one may make it what is really a glimpse. Because what? A person reappears. If this doesn't die at the event of realization, it will reappear. So know it. It's not the person will die. It may happen, it's very rare. Don't worry. It's not the person. It's the sense of reality that the person has got of himself as body-mind. Do you see the difference? At least there is a difference. You may sense it. There is something there. So the person can reappear. But not in the same way, like the Zen saying. First, the mountain is a mountain. Okay, you don't question anything, mountain is a mountain. Second, in searching. The mountain is no more the mountain. Third, the mountain is the mountain. But it may be said from somewhere else. So when everybody say, you may have this experience of I disappearing, is the concept of I. I will reappear surely, because this body-mind is not death. But don't confuse. When it reappears, you know it's an appearance. I am what I am. The rest appears and disappears. So the big difference is that then the birth and the death and anything in between becomes events in the movie. That's how I can say the master never dies. He doesn't place himself in the movie, even though this body may die. His real self. Did I reply?
Yes.
Okay. That's why you see those masters, they have sometimes a strange language. Ramana Maharishi, to some devotee was leaving him, or even the same when Ramana was dying, the devotees were telling, oh Ramana, then you leave us alone. And he said, I am always with you. He didn't speak of his body-mind. Yeah. There is no geography and no time in your real nature. It appears there, it disappears. It has never been real, actually. Yes.
I try not to go somewhere or anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, how happy I am to hear that. How are you?
Who? I am.
You are even before you could utter I am, huh? You are even before you could utter I am. I am is the bed of the river. The bed of the river. There is no river without bed. Still is the first rising of what you are. So very good, very good. And hear me too.
Always have to remind.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You want to be free. Because so much time you dedicate to that, comparing with what you dedicate to the world, isn't it? So that doesn't matter. Do it. Do it and remember, I'm always myself. I will never know what it is. And there is an absolute knowing without I.
Absolutely.
Knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even still or whatever.
No, what?
There's always this I still there. It's I.
Okay.
So you can say, who am I? But at a certain point, I just kept, where does this I rise from?
But why you go to that thought? You boycott your question. Why do you pick up that thought? Yeah. Great. Like that. Don't pick up any thought, not a single one. And when you do, you know that you give yourself some holidays in the dream. That's what I do. Yeah, I knew.
Sorry.
I knew you would jump on that.
No, not on that.
Okay.
Well, you said something before that was striking.
I think it's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, working is. You said something striking before. You said you talked about the seeming. You use the word seeming identification, and you said if you put in the word seeming, it makes a real difference.
Yes,
if you
it
just
does.
say, "Oh, identification happens," seeming identification, and you said that that teachings, you know, that where they talk about remain disidentified, and so or.
No.
Yeah.
Don't work on that.
Yes, that's what you said. Yeah, you said they were false teachings.
Yeah.
You even used that expression. Yeah. So what I heard you say, please correct me or elaborate or whatever.
Yeah.
What I heard you say, and it's very striking because I've rarely heard things like that before. But that it's okay with the seeming identification as long as you just are aware that it's only seeming, that it's, and that you are not truly the one that gets identified.
But that's why, if it was not so, then I understand that we should transform everything, our gunas, our this, our that, and then become, let's say, like a saint.
Yes.
Like a saint, and then eventually we go to liberation. But it's not like that.
No.
Every liberated one may not look like a saint.
No.
Some are, happily for the world. But that's another kind of destiny. I'm surely not that example, and I don't justify me. But it's like that. Because, you see, if you are aware that all that is not real by nature, why should you want to change an inch of what's happening there? Why? It's not it's not under your control. It's the expression of the self. And what does it mean to change anything which is not real? That's why to go directly to the cause of misery, of confusion, it's such a blessing. It's direct to the cause of it. And the cause is to take oneself for I am born. I am. It's more subtle, still first rising. And then there is no mouth to speak about. Isn't it beautiful? And if the body-mind didn't die, you can't help that it will have some kind of life. And kind of life means duality. So it may appear ordinary, it may appear extraordinary, it may appear saintly. It's not the choice of anyone.
Yeah, because this talk about becoming disidentified with everything and so often appeared to me to be to very easily become a kind of, well, mental gymnastics or just a mental trying or something.
May not be only, but
yeah.
I prefer to go directly. Already, we don't have time. We don't have time. It's very short, this span of the body. So it's urgent. Let's be direct. Urgent. And as I say, you never know when this fire, this madness for what you don't know, it's a madness, divine madness, because it's to liberate you, will be in you as a person. So it's urgent. We have to take benefit of its presence. And when you already know the direction where to, if you still need to work on something, if you know the direction to go back from where you come from, or I come from, it's already extremely good. Don't worry then. Yes.
I have a question related to this. Why is it urgent?
Yeah.
Because you say, why would we change anything to something that is not real?
Yeah, but you see, the one who puts the question thinks is real.
Yes, but
Huh?
I don't really feel the urgency. There is some interest
But I don't oblige to be urgent. But I just say, so precious it is, and don't think you have so much time. That's all.
I realize that it is short, not spent at all.
You realize what?
That it is short compared to, but as I see, it's, let's say this world is unfolding, and there's some persons that are interested in this, some persons who are not interested in this. Some figure out that who they are, some don't. But it's all just an unfolding. Does it really matter which?
Maybe
which
this
flower,
is good for you.
Flowers
Maybe this is good for you. But some want to realize it's urgent because otherwise they cannot live. Okay?
Yes, I used to feel the same way, that I want to realize, but and somehow I still. There's a reason why I'm here.
Yeah, okay. I'm listening. I just try to understand you well.
But there's also something that says that.
Maybe you come near, because for me, could you come a bit nearer? You are far from me.
Come here or just.
Okay, I come here. Okay, yes.
So, I've been interested in this, I've been having this drive for a very, very long time. I was here last year as well. It's, you said that I have a lot in mind, it's working too much, but somehow it's, and I know it's a thought, but this thought is saying that, okay, just live your life. I mean, everything is unfolding, and whether everything's just like a flowering, and if some flowers flower and others don't, that's okay. There's nothing to be changed about this, because that's just what is unfolding. And why this urgency for some flowers to have this unfolding?
This I don't know why some have this urgency. We are all different, isn't it? Some have this urgency, some don't have. Those who don't have, definitively, it's because it's not urgent. This I cannot speak more than that. I mean.
Yes, but I mean, it's more like a rhetorical question. It's sort of, I have the sense that I'm not quite getting across what I want to explain, but I'm here for some reason.
Yeah.
There's still some sort of wanting to know, although on the other hand there's also this idea that, what will I know? Whatever I would know would be mine. Would be, not worth it. It's unreal.
Okay.
So,
but you know what is expressed in satsang? It is always to throw you back to your real nature, which is not the mind. Of course, it may fail, but it may not too, you know. So it is not that you will know more in satsang. You will read, except if you don't know yet the subject. But if it is not the case, at some point it is to really see that, oh, I still fool myself with such an experience or such a belief. Suddenly it becomes clear, and then you drop it because you want to free yourself. That is the role of satsang, huh?
Yeah, these thoughts and this interest that I want to know what is reality, who am I, and so on, they still come up, but they somehow seem unreal in themselves, because any answer that would come to me would also be unreal. So what's the point? There's no point to it.
Because we speak of not knowledge, it's realizing yourself. It is not the knowledge, see, you can have, of course, and everyone has when he hears satsangs, that you are that which is not touched by anything, which is unborn. This can be learned. But you see, the point is not like a course, you are a good student and you learned well, is that it becomes a fact. That's why it is said realizing, because there is no other ways. It's not experiencing. There would be somebody, I have no other words, I would like, maybe one day I find, but it's just pointing out. Trying to point out, to always brings you back where you never leave, actually. But for some reason we believe in movements, in someone going here, going there, etc.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, but look, maybe it's okay for you. Or what do you want to hear more? You have not realized, or you could, I don't know. But I mean, what is missing? What's missing? What drove you here, for example?
Probably habit. Curiosity. I've been to many different types of satsang. I've been reading for years. And but I come to it from a different place, I feel. There's still some sort of curiosity, but there's also at the same time...
You are looking a bit fed up, I would say.
The idea that any answer is just an answer, and anything is just unfolding, and whatever I see, if people speak of that reality, it's just this. I mean, whatever this is, but I can't put the thing to it. It's whatever it is. Sort of. That's.
Doesn't look too bad, but don't speak of that every answer is mental. Realization is not mental. And the proof is that many know the subject smarter and smarter it looks. I mean, it's amazing how smart it is articulated and all that. And yet, if there is no realization, deep down there is something, an unsatisfaction, a something which is too much and which minds, or undermines, no, which troubles.
So that's probably what still drives me here, that there's still something...
Okay, understand. So know that I totally agree with you, any mental answer will not be it. It means you can know what it is not. You're right. You can know what it is not. Now you may make a conclusion a bit too early, that after all this may be real and let it unfold and all that. It's a bit too much conclusion too early.
Then I feel there's a reason why I'm here, because this is still something that is driving me. On the other hand, it's like I said. But I have no idea where to go, because the only way forward I've known is thinking like, what is this, and expecting some answer. So it seems to me that the only thing that is left to do is just wait, and maybe something will happen, something will not happen. But
the waiting is a bit a trick of the mind, it delays. Or just, if you could hear, without arguments, you are already that, and don't argue. Or if they appear, don't go there. You are lucky.
But it takes up time. It's like there's two sides. It's the one side that says, okay, just everything's unfolding, and if I believe that, then okay, I can let everything go. On the other hand, there's still this wanting to see this confirmed with the true realization that, okay, it's done, it's finished. So
yeah,
sometimes something still feels unfinished, perhaps.
Okay, but that's why you go to some direction, trying to reconcile the whole thing. But you see, now you have like two mistresses. One you see less, and one you see a lot now. I tell you the one, because I speak to you, so it's not right, the one you see less is better. And they don't like to be two. Oops. Yes, it's mine, huh? Maybe, I don't know. No, we're fine. That's why you see I insist so much, even though I know I'm not really well understood, except when you really understand, then you do it. Don't think. Don't go into thinking power.
I've been trying to let that go since last year. You said to me, okay, you're thinking too much, and just, okay, forget it, let it happen.
But you didn't do up to today.
I didn't.
You have not done it up to today.
No, I've let it go much more, so this is why it's...
Yeah. What? Yeah, sure.
Yes. Ganga, many years ago, there was a split second. And then, I think, now I can see it was claimed.
Okay.
It was claimed.
Yeah.
And then there's been a settling for the perfume. And
there has been what?
A settling.
Yeah, okay.
For the perfume.
Yeah. Sure.
Enough.
It is enough.
No.
Then smell more.
No, it's not enough. And so after many years I felt such a longing to come and see you again. Because it's not finished somehow, or the mind tells me it's not finished, and I believe.
But it's right, because if you say yourself, there was a claim, so I claim something, and then you bathe more in the perfume now, because of course if you landed, I know it, or I got it, or I know what it is, whatever, I realized it's a landing place which brings the perfume of it, but I tell you with time this perfume will fade away too. So maybe you come really well in time. If you know this, you just drop it. Not to carry anything with you, don't bring I here. Even if it appears, let it go. Let it go.
We have still time, yes. We have still time?
Yeah. Time will follow. I wanted to ask you, how are you today? How are you today?
Well, I am quite fine, and I would like to ask you about a trick of my mind, a very practical question. So when I deal with the who am I question, and also I am not the thoughts which comes from my mind, and my thoughts cease to come, and I go into a state of, I think, something like a sleepless dream. But then it is a good state, but then I come back to my consciousness. So that is the end of my my search, the end of the practice with the who am I question. So what can I do with this? So it's not bad, but the end is I come back to the consciousness.
Yeah, but this is true because you are in a state. So, and that state is not bad. Then of course after a state there is another state, which is the one you know more probably.
So somehow I have to avoid this state of...
No, you can't avoid. But you see, it's like you decide, let's say, I'm not good with stories. You decide to go to the... You have to take a flight. Huh? You have to take a flight, and you know, we have to cross a lot of shops before the flight, but you came really late, it's really time. Will you taste a little toffee here, a little drink there, and no, you have to discard even what you like to take the flight. That is the priority. And if you lose your priority, you lose your flight. Like that is where and I am even surprised you say thoughts. If you take the one thought, who am I? You don't know that there are thoughts or no other thoughts. You are busy with that. with the direction of it. So, whatever you experience or feel, you don't give a chance to like it, to fix it, to be curious about it. For once, it takes just a moment, 24 hours you can do that. But just to allow this event of realization, which will not be taken for the event, you allow that, you go without landing anywhere.
Yes, so not without landing, for example, how good it is that I have no thoughts now.
No, all that, even that. Yeah. Or okay, say it, but that's all. I mean, continue to run. Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. If you like, see you tonight here, 8 o'clock.